All right, here we go. We are officially live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is 12:54 in the afternoon on the 22nd of May, Wednesday, 2024. Welcome to one and all, whether you're going to watch this live or you watch it later on in the day, week, month, or year. Always appreciate your viewership and welcome to my channel. So I have a comic book I'm going to be doing a live unboxing. And it's a book I've actually never owned before. It's a book I've always wanted. It's not a major key issue or anything like that. It has some significance for me anyway, being a fan of this particular topic on the comic book, which you'll see when I do the unboxing. But the prices were, for what I thought about this book, acquiring it, the prices were just getting way too high. And I ended up getting a pretty decent deal. I got the PayPal credit so I can, have 12 months to pay for this. I paid under $100, so it's not anything that's going to be breaking the bank. And with a 12-month payment plan with no interest, I think I should be able to survive this no problem. So, with that being said, if you want to critique my AI art, keep in mind, I am no artist. I just type letters on a computer, and the computer does all the work, so I'm not going to sit here and say I'm some artist or anything. I couldn't even draw a straight stick figure. But if you want to make a comment on it, I always appreciate the responses in the comments section once this video uploads. So by all means, if you want to do that, please do. If you look on the bottom of the screen scrolling by, you'll see a whole bunch of comics I'm looking to acquire via trade. So if you are interested in doing any kind of trade and you have one or any of these books, you could basically watch every video I have and see what comics you would like to acquire. And even like the toy videos I've done, if there's a toy that somebody wanted to add to include in the trade, I probably would not have an issue with anything. But there's a video I did back in November of last year showing about 30 some odd graded comics that I'd be willing to trade. But pretty much almost nothing is off the table in my entire collection if it's going to be the difference between somebody wanting to do a trade or not. So by all means, you can ask, and the worst I could say is no on that one, or give an alternative. But please contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. It's a good way for two people to save on taxes, leave the government out of it so they don't get any of their, dirty paws on any of our, value of our comics, and we don't have to pay taxes on a trade. So it's perfectly legal, and it's something that helps us to be able to acquire something with people that may not have the actual physical cash to be able to purchase something right now. And that's why I always recommend, when you collect especially valuable comics, if you can get multiple copies of them, it's a way where you can do a trade or you can do a sale and still own the book. So I highly recommend that. And another thing I recommend, which might be controversial, is I always tell people, especially when it comes to valuable books, if you can get them at a great price, if there's a comic or a character or a series you hate, but let's say you have a chance to buy a book that you absolutely hate, don't like the character, don't like the company, whatever, and let's say it's a $1,000 book and you see it for sale for $100. I would grab that book in a heartbeat, because you know why? It's a lot easier to sell a book that you cannot stand and do not like than a book you absolutely love and maybe spent 15, 20 years trying to acquire. It's going to be a lot more difficult to let something like that go. So sometimes thinking in different aspects can help you make a lot of money and not have that seller's remorse. So sometimes buying comics you absolutely don't like and you can get them at a super discount, you'll flip those with no problem, no attached emotion, and you'll make some profit to maybe buy something you did want. Most people don't think in the ways that I do, and they're only like, oh, I only want to collect what I love, which is nothing wrong with that. But if you find something that's worth $1,000 and you could buy it for $100, and you don't like it, so you can get rid of it with no emotional attachment, you could turn around and use that money to pay a bill, put gas in your car, or maybe buy a comic that you've always wanted and might not have been able to afford. So I like to give that kind of alternative way of thinking to get yourself into a different mindset. So you go from I can't or I never to, at the very least, maybe there's a possibility. Sometimes you have to expand your way of thinking to be able to make things happen. And that's why, despite all of the problems and me being unemployed since October and blah, 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 I've still been able to survive because I always find a way. Now, I don't do criminal activities, and I don't recommend anybody do that, but you see how many people in this world are doing, things that they shouldn't do, sometimes just morally, just to make a profit, just to get views, just to get likes, just to get advertisement, just to get fame. To me, my integrity and my value of life, my God-given value, is not worth trading for some coins. To each their own. But there's always ways to be able to put food on your table without resorting to being dishonest or criminal activity or basically selling your soul for a concept you don't really believe in just to get internet fame and fortune. Not the best way to go, but that's just my opinion. If you do it, that's the beauty of free will. So, with the sermon out of the way, let's put on the video cam. We got 10 people watching right now. Hopefully somebody was kind enough to hit the like button. I always appreciate that. And like I always do now, and you'll see in the live chat, and I'll post it in the comment section. It'll also be in the description. From now on, as long as somebody is a Patreon member of mine, and it could be as low as $1, so I'm not saying you have to spend $20 or something to do it. Every month that you guys are a Patreon member, every single video I do, I will do a shout out for at least your name, or if you want me to promote something for you, let me know in advance, and I can do that no problem for you. So, Carl, I have 4 Patreon members. So, shout out to Carl, Sith, Scott, and the last one contacted me, let me know that they want me to advertise their Instagram handle. So that is Silver Age Surfer _comics. So if you do join his Instagram, or hers, I don't want to assume anything, or I don't want to reveal anything unless they want it to be known. Let them know that you came from We Love Comics and everything, and I'm sure they would appreciate it. But it's all one word, Silver Age Surfer _comics. Now the underscore means instead of the dash, it's that lower line that's basically on the bottom of where the letters would start. So go give them a follow. But like I said, that is going to be as long as you're a Patreon member. And again, it's as low as $1. I will do those shout outs. So hey, if you get some free advertisement and it costs you $1 a month, I think that's a good investment. But I'll leave that up to you. Link is in the description if you want to do that. But as usual, there is no mandatory requirement. And like I always say, and this is just my opinion, that I don't believe in charging people to have access to Patreon. I just do it for people who want to support my channel. So if it's something you want to do, by all means, please do. So let's put on the video camera. It seems to have frozen. Let me know in the comments section, if you're on the live chat, if you can actually see me on video, because it's not showing on my side. And I've had many a time where I can't see it on my side, but you can. So if anybody could be so kind to let me know, I'd appreciate it. But let's say hello to people in the live chat. I always encourage people to join the live chat, even if you're not subscribed, because at the end of the video, I always do a surprise subscriber shout out. And again, you don't have to be a subscriber. You just have to have at least one conversation in the live chat. So we got Pino. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before, but welcome. Douglas Boggs is here. James Logan. Mighty Comics and Collectibles. Always good to see you. I am subscribed to his channel. Maybe one day he'll actually give me a shout out. Come on. Keep it. Return the favors. Hoppy A. Good to see you. Life is good. Gotham City Comics says the barter system is great during times that like we're in. Absolutely. And last but not least, GT Key Comic, one of my moderators. He's usually first. He's like 5th or 6th today, so kind of slow, but that's all right. As they say, better late than never. So if anybody can let me know if they're actually seeing anything on the screen, because the internet seems to hate me. So if you could let me know if it's frozen or not, we can go from there. But let me try and do something really quick. So give me a second. Okay. So the video is working. Okay. Let's see. Serge is here. Dan Lewis is here. Douglas Bobs is here. Says, hello, Chris. Yes, I can see you and give a great big hug to all the things you do for people. Thank you, Serge. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. All right, so it seems like it's going smoothly, at least on your end. So, hey, if my computer's not showing, I don't need to look at myself, and I feel bad that you have to look at me as well. But, hey, you know, stranger things have happened in life. So here is the box. I always tell a seller to please put it in a box with a lot of protection. It doesn't always work. I mean, this isn't the best, but hey, you know, if I didn't say anything, what could they have mailed it in? Could it have been one of those manila envelopes that, you know, many of us have had to deal with over the years? So this might even be better protection just by the fact that I mentioned it to the seller. So I highly recommend people do that. And they don't always listen, but the majority of them do, and some are actually very thankful for it. We should never assume that just because we love comics and we know how to ship things for the most part, that everybody else does. Because not everybody selling comics is a comic lover. You know, it could be somebody that found the comics in their, you know, in their attic that were there for 50 years, and they just want to sell them just to get rid of them and know nothing about comics. So let's never assume, because you know what assuming does. And communicate. Communication is the key in anything in life. All right, so let's take a look at this. It looks pretty good. This looks like it would be a minimum of about a 5.0, maybe a little higher. I mean, with a pressing, but this is an oversized comic. So just to show you the size of this book. And let's show it. And of course, as usual, I will show the price. Well, tell you the price I paid, including shipping and handling, taxes, all that other stuff. So the comic is the Kiss comic. I forget the name. It's Marvel Comics Super Special. So it's a Kiss special. It's got a wraparound cover. And the rumor is that when they made this comic, they drew blood out of each member of Kiss and put it into the ink that they would use for this comic. So it was a very interesting and I guess original concept. So I wonder what would happen if you ever had like a DNA test on these books. What kind of situation? Because, you know, especially people like Gene Simmons, you know, their fluids traveled around a lot. So you never know what their DNA would be. But if you know Kiss, without looking it up, in the comments section, see if you can tell me the name of all 4 of the original singers and players in Kiss. And for bonuses, you can also put in the comment section people that replaced 2 of them at certain points. So, yes, GTK comic, this is the special blood book. Now, I've seen this, I mean, especially in higher grade, going for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I think 9.8s will go for $1,000 and up. I don't really know because I'm not going to be looking for that kind of book, especially for this one. This, to me, the reason I got it, I'm a huge Kiss fan. Always was. When I was a kid, I think in 76, when I was 5 years old, maybe 77, I would shovel driveways and rake leaves for about $2. That shows how much inflation has increased. When I was a kid, I'd make $2 to $3 shoveling somebody's driveway or raking somebody's front lawn to be able to come up with the money to buy my first album. And the first album I ever bought was Kiss Alive 2. Second album I ever bought was Kiss Double Platinum. So, just always my favorite. And again, I'm not going to say the names. I know all of them. One of my, I don't know if he's still a subscriber of mine, but he actually has his YouTube comic book channel based on all 4 names of this group. So this one was always my favorite. So I got somebody that may have them right. I'm not going to confirm or anything. But I saw this. It was an auction. I thought I'd take the chance on it. Again, like I said, I have a year to pay for it, and it's under $100. So if I pay for it within under a year, there's no interest. So for me, it's a no-brainer, because that's like, what, $2.50, $3 a month? Actually, no, that'd be more like $5 to $6 a month. I think I can even I can afford that. So I won it for 75, and with shipping and handling and taxes, because you know eBay loves to charge taxes, came out to $86.77. So I think, in my opinion, to get this book for under $100, I think is actually a pretty decent deal. It does have a piece missing right there. That's why I'd say it's at least a 5.0 range, maybe a little higher. It does have some, like, not water damage, but you could definitely see there's some moisture damage. Obviously, I could not get this graded with PGX or EGS because they don't do larger size. But if somebody ever wanted to send this in the CGC, I mean, you can get this book just pressed, and it would definitely increase the grade. So I just thought, there you go, Douglas Boggs. That's two of them, and the first one, he had the shortest run with Kiss. Ironically, I did not get. I used to love going to concerts as a kid. I mean, I went to Whitesnake. I've gone to Motley Crue. I've gone to Heart. Was actually my first concert, which I always thought was weird with my friends. Who else did I see? Judas Priest. Guns N' Roses. Whole bunch of others like that. And never got to see Kiss until after the original drummer and the original guitarist left and they had their makeup off. I actually never got to see them with their makeup on in a live concert. And unfortunately now it seems I never will because they're done touring. I mean, at this point they might need, wheelchair accessible ramps to get on stage. But I mean, I've always been a fan of this group. Like I said, it's not a major super key or anything. This is more of nostalgia and a book I've always wanted, which actually is different from most of the books you see me buy, because you see I love collecting key issue comics and finding them for very good deals. So I think, in my opinion, and I'd love to hear what you think, I think $86 for this book, even at mid-grade, is not bad at all. It's, like I said, upper mid-grade. It's probably going to be a 5.5 to 6.5 range after pressing and dry cleaning. Like I said, this is one I can't get graded, and I'm not going to be sending it to CGC. Unlike some people out there, I just don't really trust them at this point, not for until they do something to suggest otherwise. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. But that's the book. So let's do today's surprise subscriber shout out. Gotham City Comics says not enough blood to show up on a DNA test. Hey, you never know. But let's go with, you know what, since you made that good, funny comment, Gotham City Comics, you are one of the surprise subscriber shout-outs. And let's go with Hoppy A. You are both today's surprise subscriber shout-outs, which means if you have a YouTube channel, when this video uploads, if you would like to leave either a link to one of your specific videos or to your YouTube channel, you can do that. If you don't have a YouTube channel or you'd prefer to post a link to one of your social networks, you're able to do that. Or if you don't have that and you maybe sell something on Amazon, Etsy, any of those other different places, and you'd like to share a link to a sale, no problem at all. I would recommend them being comic book related, but it doesn't have to be. They're just going to be the best, most likely chance of somebody going to visit your site or something you sell. But as long as it's content for all ages, I have no problem promoting it. So if you have a YouTube channel that talks about, playing tennis, perfectly fine. If you sell sweatshirts that are not comic related, perfectly fine. If you have an Instagram account talking about your video game collection, not a problem. So I'm not going to promote like channels that do pranks or channels, links that promote porn sites or any kind of spam. So keep in mind, anybody posting a link in the comment section, it will go straight to spam. This keeps spammers from trying to, put inappropriate links on my page. So all links have to be approved by me. So if you see a link in the comment section, it means I did verify it. It is We Love Comics approved. So you can go there knowing it's not going to take you anywhere other than the place it's intended to be. that'll be suitable for all audiences. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Always love to hear from you guys. If anybody wants to be kind enough or can hit the like button, that is greatly appreciated. Come join my Patreon if you want to. Like I said, from now on, as long as somebody is a Patreon member, every video I do, I will do a shout out. So if your shout out, if you don't want your full name out there, I won't put it out. I'll use an abbreviation of either your YouTube name or your first name. If you do want me to promote, like Silver Age Surfer _comics on Instagram wanted me to do, no problem with that. So, hey, like I said, my Patreon, you're not going to have to pay to get any exclusive content. I give away all of my information freely. This is just solely for people who want to help support my channel, to help me get more comics, and also help the cats that I feed outside. And it's as low as $1. So it's not like, oh, if you want to shout out, you have to spend $50 a month. I'm not going to do that to you. So if you want me to promote like Silver Age Surfer did, let me know. Otherwise, I will just do, somebody's first name or part of their YouTube channel. So I want to respect somebody's privacy unless they want to promote. So, hey, if it costs you $1 a month and I get you maybe one extra sale or an extra subscriber or something like that, and it helps you, yep, remember, any money you put into your business is, tax deductible. So you could take a whole dollar off your taxes, or at least a percentage of it. So thank you so much for watching. Let's give a shout out. GTK Comics says, Chris, the best piece of your unboxing yesterday was the on-card Darth Vader figure. Original Star Wars figures, a toy collectible grails. Yeah, only problem with that one, and I'll show it really quick, is I don't remember where I bought it, but I do know I bought it years ago. And let me put on the video camera really quick. So if you want to see some of the toys from the video I did yesterday, here was the biggest one. The only problem with it, like I bought it, it came with this, protector. But as you can see, like the protector, whoever owned this before me must have maybe had it on a wall or something, because you could see the plastic here is yellowed and the front is a little faded. You could tell that they probably hung it on their wall because the back looks nice and clean and the colors are a lot brighter. So obviously no one's going to hang it on a wall like this. They're going to display it like that. Now obviously I don't know. I'm assuming. But with all the yellowing for the protector and the yellowing around the plastic here and the images on the front a little faded, I mean, that obviously will take away from the value, but this is still, from what I understand, a valuable piece. But you could see whoever did have it must have kept it in this protector no matter how they stored it. So the edges, there's no bends, there's no folds. So that's advantageous. But people told me that this is an original, it's called a 12-back Darth Vader figure. And I don't remember what I paid for it, because I literally bought this probably in the 90s. But, yeah, I bought this back. I remember buying this before eBay existed. I think I might have either gotten this on Yahoo Auctions or I might have gotten it at a yard sale. I do not remember. It was so long ago. And I've had it in storage ever since. But, yeah, very excited to have that in my collection. And, hey, if somebody wanted this as part of the comic book trade, I mean, I don't have much love for it anymore because of the fact that they've destroyed Star Wars, in my opinion. So these things don't have the sentimental value they once did. And hey, if it makes somebody else happy, I have no problem with that. So that's a little sneak preview if you want to see. GTK Comics says, when you have on-card figure grails, you get them graded. Yeah, I just don't have the funds to be able to do that right now, unfortunately. But I guess if things change, I'll have to, think about that later on. But hey, you never know. If there's a grading company watching that grades toys and you want to do a promotion with me, I'll be more than happy to advertise your company, and all I'd ask for is maybe just that one toy to be graded. You never know. Stranger things have happened. All right, guys, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to hit the like button, that's great. If not, perfectly fine. Let's give a shout-out to a shout-out. And if you get the moment, if you have some free time today and you see this comic is uploaded after it was live, if you want to take the time to leave a comment, always appreciated. GTK Comics says, Chris, that has a potential of a $3,000 figure. That'd be awesome. But like I said, you know, whoever had it before me could have just either put it on a shelf near a window or hung it up on a wall, and it got exposed to the sun. So the front cover is definitely a little faded, but the back is perfectly fine, which basically leads me to believe that's probably what somebody did at some point. But hey, if it's something that gets me a book that I wanted via trade, as you could see on the bottom of the screen scrolling by, and it makes somebody else happier than it would make me, I have no problem with giving it up and, you know, going from there. Serge says, by any chance, do you get a chance to double check the baseball cards? Yeah, I checked them. Nothing major in there. There was a few. There was a Michael Jordan card, but it wasn't anything of incredible value. You know, stuff like Alex Rodriguez and a Kobe Bryant card, but not anything of major significance, unfortunately. Yeah, GTK Comics says 1977, 78 Kenner figures go for thousands. I mean, that'd be awesome if finally something I collected has actually had value. But, you know, I like to do full disclosures, so I wouldn't want to try and sell that for top amount, knowing that it looks like the front and the plastic has been faded a little bit due to somebody at some point keeping it in sunlight for too long. But hey, if I make a couple of bucks off it, or, you know, somebody trades it for a comic I've been looking to get, because comics these days are my priority and my specialty. That's why I love doing trades, because if somebody traded me for that and plus a comic or two for one of the books that I have scrolling by, and that makes them happy and it makes me happy, I mean, how do you go wrong? Plus the fact it costs us no money other than to ship them to each other, and we don't have to worry about paying any taxes or having the government with their hand out saying, give me a piece of the action, because they cannot tax you on trades, which is why I think people should barter more often in life. You know, people hate what the governments are doing, whether you're on one side or the other. You know, if you do a lot of bartering and trades with people, that's not taxable. At least not yet. GGK Comics says, Chris, please get that figure graded. To get something like that graded, it's going to cost $100 or $2. Just now, with all the cats that I feed, just couldn't viably do it. But you never know. If I do another auction, and I'll probably do one soon, that's how I pay the bills overall, is I can do it every couple of months, but I can sell some comics and get some bills paid. If I get some bills paid after I do an auction and I have some money left over, I absolutely will get that graded. But right now, unfortunately, it's just not a priority. But we'll see what happens. You never know what tomorrow brings. I can buy a $1 scratch-off ticket and win millions of dollars. So, hey, nothing's impossible until you take your last breath. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget, it's not you. It is not I. It is We Love Comics, thanks to the 6 people that stuck around. And I'll see you next video. All right, we're going to do something that I have not done in a long time, and that is for my power viewers and ultra power viewers. So if you are either one of those two, you can put in the comment section that you are a power viewer, ultra power viewer, and I'm going to do a bonus unboxing for you guys as a thank you for sticking around and enjoying my content. I haven't done that in a while, and I know I've had people ask me from time to time, because some people used to love that I did that, and I haven't done it in a while. But as they say, better late than never. So this one is a graded comic. I bought this one months ago, so it hasn't been opened since then, so let's hope it's everything they said it was supposed to be. And let's try and They taped the living bejesus out of this. So this is a CBCS graded comic. I do have, they included an invoice. Sheesh. So let's just rip off the personal information of both parties involved. Alright, don't want to give away the seller's contact information. So let's just fold that over. Okay. So this is my thank you to my power viewers. Like GT Key Comic. I haven't done this in a while, so hopefully people stuck around. I understand why most people don't. Most people don't like my rambles, and that's perfectly fine. I'm here for the quality, not the quantity. Although I wouldn't mind quantity, but hey, if I have one person watching, it gives me a reason to do it. So hopefully you can see the video camera. As usual on my end, it's all messed up. Well, let's see. This is a Copper Age comic. Here's the back. Let's see if anybody, based on the back, can take a guess as to what Copper Age key first appearance comic this is. I will give a hint. It came out in 1990. Serge says, see, I told you guys he's Mr. Marvel. I wish I had the body of Mr. Marvel. And the popularity and fame. And the powers. So, in the comment section, this is a book that came out in 1990. Where I was 19 going on 20. See if anybody can take a guess in the either the live chat or the comment section what they think it is. Definitely not a video game. Oh, but the advertisement is a video game. The advertisement is Tato's Sky Shark for the Nintendo Entertainment System. So this is an actual comic, but it's not a video game. But it is a video game advertisement, so good eyes, Serge. Alright, so let's show the comic. We've got, of course, and this is a book I highly recommend because, in my humble opinion, this, of course, is New Mutants 87, which back in the days when this first came out, nobody cared about New Mutants 98. If you are Gen X like me or a little bit younger, and you bought this book when it came out, you know that nobody cared about New Mutants 98, first appearance of Deadpool, for like 20 years. This was the book everybody wanted. Now, there's going to be the Deadpool/Wolverine movie coming out. There are rumors that they're saying Cable's going to be in it. This is why I believe Cable will not be in it. Because the actor, Josh Brolin, signed a contract for 3 additional appearances in movies. Now, I don't know how much that contract is for, but for Marvel and Disney to waste whatever amount of money on a quick cameo when the X-Men movies are coming soon, I don't believe that Cable is going to be in the Deadpool movie. I think it would be a waste because even if he's in it for a total of 30 seconds, that is now one of the prepaid contract deals for one of the 3 movies he's agreed to continue on with from that contract. So from me, as if I'm looking at it from a business perspective of a company, it would be a waste of money when they could use it, because unless the contract says, 3 appearances, 1 is just a quick cameo, if it doesn't state that, then they can use him for an entire movie, where he could maybe in the next Deadpool movie, instead of Wolverine being the partner, maybe Cable and Deadpool, and maybe Spider-Man can be involved. Or with the X-Men coming, I mean, Cable is a futuristic, he's an X-Man from the future. I think it would be better utilized that way. So this book, in my opinion, as of now, is undervalued. It has risen recently, but I think people are raising the price with the anticipation that he's going to cameo in the Deadpool movie. And in my opinion, I really just don't think that's the case. Now, this has been signed And it is witnessed. Is it witnessed? A verified signature. Oh, so it's verified. See, that's the weird thing, because I'm so used to with CGC, if you see a yellow label, it means it was witnessed. But this one, CBCS does use yellow regardless, which is fine. But it's a witness signature, so they did verify it. I mean, I have a couple of Rob Liefeld signatures. I mean, I got one signed from him personally, so I know his. I mean, it's just basically chicken scratch. But this is a newsstand edition, but not only is it a newsstand edition, now it's only a 7.0 with white pages, but I don't know if you read that because the font is super small. They need to straighten that out. Now, this is an older label, so they probably have, but this is a Mark Jewelers variant. So they did mark that it is a Mark Jewelers variant. So even at a 7.0, you have a signed book that is a newsstand Mark Jewelers variant. Now, this person was selling it for $300 with no best offer. When I want a book, even if it doesn't have a best offer, I'm going to attempt to try and get a better deal. It works from time to time, doesn't always work, but it works a lot less if you don't make the effort. And this is why I tell people all the time, make an effort on contacting people. The worst they can do is either say no or ignore you. Now, this person didn't have as much wiggle room as some of the others have over the times I've made deals. So we went back and forth a little bit, but I ended up getting a discount that wasn't there until I made it happen. Because like I said, this person, they had it for sale for $300, which for a 7.0 already graded newsstand Mark Jewelers variant signed by Rob Liefeld is not a bad price, especially since I know where this book is going to head. I got him down to $250, and after taxes and shipping, which by the way, he charged me $20 for shipping, which was ridiculous, but hey, it is what it is. So it was actually more for shipping than taxes, but taxes was almost $20 too. So it actually came out to $288.90. So $38.90 with shipping and taxes extra. But to get this book, in my opinion, for under $300, I have had one Mark Jewelers comic in my life before this year. Now I have about 15 to 20. I am at this point really obsessed with getting rarer versions of comics, and I highly recommend people try and look for these because, many people do not realize how rare these are. I mean, newsstand variants, when they're more modern books, tend to be rarer, but not every newsstand, just because it's a newsstand, is rare. Because back in the 70s, for example, newsstands on average are not very rare. So be very careful who you listen to, because not every newsstand is rare. But newer, by newer I mean like Copper Age and higher, newsstands then, especially in high grade, tend to be more rare. But this being a Mark Jewelers variant, now, if you don't know what Mark Jewelers variants are, it's just a 2 or 3 page advertisement in the centerfold of the comics that are kind of cardboardish in nature. It's a much thicker paper stock that basically advertises, it's called Mark Jewelers. It was a jewelry store that basically targeted military bases to sell rings for military people who maybe wanted to ask their spouse to marry them. So many of them were probably not treated like a comic collector would treat them. Many of them had people cut out the coupons because to use it, you had to cut out the coupon. And not a lot of them exist in high grade. So to me, it does depend on the price. But I think anything over a 6 is worth getting. A 1.0 is worth it if it's worth $50 and you can get it for $10. Remember, don't always go by grade. I know everybody loves 9/8. Who wouldn't? I guess CGC, because they want to give a lot of 9.9s and 10s like it's candy at a candy convention. But you could make money on any grade comic. If you look at my comics, most of my comics are low grade, and it's why I came up with, and most people will not give me credit for this, but it's my understanding, unless somebody can show me a video that's earlier than my videos, I am the person that came up with the phrase, low grade is better than no grade. And you can actually make more money with lower grades than you can higher grades, and sometimes sell things faster because, for example, let's say you're fortunate enough to own Batman #1. Now, there isn't a 9.8 in existence, but let's assume you had a 9.8 of Batman #1. Another person has a Batman #1, let's say in a 0.3. Which one do you think is going to sell quicker? Now, obviously you can make more money with the Batman 1 9.8, but how many people will be able to afford it? How many people will be like, all right, that's probably a $15 million book? That's going to take a lot of people out of the equation. Now, a Batman #1 at a 0.3, even though would still be at a range of a lot of people, let's say a 0.3 Batman #1 is worth $80,000. A lot more people would have $80,000 to spend on it than they would $15 million. So even though it would be amazing to own a 9.8 of that book, good luck trying to sell it. Lower grade books usually have a faster turnaround because of the fact that more people can afford it. Because let's go with a lower thing. Let's say like Silver Surfer #1, which is not his first appearance. A 9.8 will probably cost you, let's just say, $5,000 for a 9.8 Silver Surfer #1. I don't know what the price is, but let's assume it's around $5,000. A 1.0 will probably cost you $200-300. Now, whether you own the 9.8 or the 1.0, you still own Silver Surfer #1. So, for example, with Batman #1, even if it's a 0.3, you still own Batman #1 and the first appearance of the Joker. It's just in lower grade. So, to me, especially when it comes to rarer books, now I'm not saying this is a rare book, but as a Mark Jewelers variant, it is definitely a lot rarer, especially one that's signed. Now, I don't know if this has ever been pressed or dry cleaned, so I may crack this open and resubmit it to PGX and get it pressed and dry cleaned. Worst comes to worst, I mean, it can go down a grade. You never know, because it could get damaged in the mail. But it could stay the same. Or, hey, even if it goes up to 7.5, or maybe an 8.0, pressings might help. So, that's my story. And just to show you I don't make up prices, here is the receipt of the prices and the breakdown. So you can see I don't make up numbers, I don't embellish them, I don't try and make it into something different than what it is, and I definitely don't forget to mention the shipping and handling. Unfortunately, there are a few YouTube channels out there that won't, well, most channels won't even give the price. I think most of them won't give the price because I think they don't want their spouses to know how much money they're spending. To me, that's being dishonest and deceitful, and if you have a relationship, they should know. My wife is subscribed to my channel. She's actually one of my moderators. From time to time, she'll show up. She knows what I'm spending, but she also knows that when I sell them, I can get bills paid. When I sold them in New York, it bought me this house. So I think communication is the key, but not only are many people not mentioning the prices, I hate when somebody says, oh, I got a great deal, and then they don't tell you what that deal is. How do you know it's a great deal? You know, is it a $5,000 book and you spent $4,990 on it and you saved $10 from the max price? Is that your idea of a good deal? And many people will say, for example, what they won it for. I won this for $250, but I did not pay $250. I paid $288.90 because there's a thing called shipping and there's a thing called taxes. There are many people out there who will say, if they got this book, that they paid $250, which technically is not lying, but it's omitting part of the truth. That's how governments throughout the world are able to get away with all the lies that they do, because they do partial truths. I like to be very direct, honest, and open with my subscribers, so this way it actually helps them be able to find deals. I try and inspire people to think outside the box and think different ways. Yes, my videos are long-winded, and yes, I can go on tangents, and yes, I can go off topic. But you know what? I've had so many people over the years, getting close to a decade of doing this with my original We Love Comics channel that I shut down in, I think either mid-2016 or mid-2017. I've had a lot of people over the years tell me that some of my inspirational stuff that some majority may hate has actually helped their lives become better because they thought in a different way. And that is what means something to me. So, hey, if you're a power viewer and you stuck around to the end, thank you so much. If you want to join my Patreon and help support my channel, by all means, I'll put the link will be in the description. I'll also put it in the live chat. But like I said, every video I do, unless I forget in the beginning of the video, I will do a shout out to every Patreon member, regardless of the amount of money that you put in. So it could be $1, it could be $1 million. If you send me $1 million, I'll personally come to your house and give you a hug, and I will pet your dog. So, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the viewership. Anybody out there that was kind enough to hit the like button, thank you so much. Hopefully the video did not freeze at all. It's frozen almost the whole time on my end. But thank you for sticking through, and I'd love to hear your comments. And don't forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Enjoy the rest of your day, and have a wonderful day, everybody. I'll see you next video.